We've got Larry Pratt joining us in about an hour from now to break down the details of the latest ATF activities. Also, all over the country, the ATF and local police are raiding gun dealers, gun collectors, gun owners. In almost all cases, they're law-abiding citizens. If you buy even 500 rounds of ammo now, in many cases, you're getting an ATF visit. And sometimes they just come and confiscate everything. Just like Katrina. Hey, I'm high and dry here. I've got a generator. Why are you here? Well, I'm going to put you in handcuffs and cut your gun safe open and take your guns. That's what the military's here for, pal. FBI's in command. I'm Colonel Bob here. I'm going in to get them. They are all about flaunting this in their face. You know, I saw a Chicago Tribune article this morning. It's somewhere here in my stack. Or if you just type Alex Jones, Ron Paul into Google News, it'll come up. And it's like, Ron Paul can't be president because once he was on the Alex Jones show in 2005 during Katrina, and Jones was talking about Mexican and Dutch troops being brought in as part of the relief effort, which they were, and that this was part of a conditioning process for foreign occupation. And Ron Paul agreed that it was a dangerous precedent. Here's a link to it. This is insane. Oh, really? On Monday, it was in major newspapers, including the New York Times, that, Mexican army now comes up to 20 miles into the U.S. and interdicts drugs without even asking the U.S. They've been authorized to come in with commando raids, and they're raiding people's houses. That was in the mainstream news, and Kurt Nimmo wrote an article about it and gave some of the background history. Remember when the Mexican cartels, and it turned out it was the army, killed the guy on the jet ski with his wife? On that, Falcon Lake, bordering the Mexican-Texas border. And the national news came out and said she was lying. And then later, of course, it came out that there were witnesses. He was shot. They did get his body. They sent Mexican cops to find it, and they, decapitated one and killed some others. It's like, oh, my husband, they killed him. They shot him. They came up in a boat and shot him. Oh, shut up, honey. There's no violence on the border. Oh, and only 30,000+ dead in the last 3 years. More dangerous than an average here in Vietnam. Per capita, everything's fine. There's not giant mass graves everywhere. You know, I've been doing a lot of radio interviews lately, and I'll bring up that the first responders are not allowed at the 9/11 event, and people don't believe me. Even when I tell them, search it, they just say, you're lying. And of course, when they finally find out it's true, I'm still the bad guy for pointing it out. Oh, yeah, they pulled in a boat and shot my husband in the head. No, you're lying, lady. U.S. government came out and attacked her. Federal government. There's nothing going on that border, sweetie cake. And in Arizona, routinely, whole rural areas, in one night, 14 houses got burned down. I mean, it's just absolute bedlam. And the media is like, hey, everything is A-OK. By the way, there's a Ron Paul interview we did 2 days ago that I noticed when you go into Google News has made it past their normal censoring of any of our information. And it's a really powerful 15, 16-minute interview. You should get it out to everyone you know. It's Ron Paul. Rick Perry is the globalist choice for 2012. Please get that video. Ron Paul, Rick Perry is the globalist choice for 2012, and get it out to everyone you know. Don't forget, tonight, 7 o'clock, we're going to try to keep to 30 minutes tonight. My wife's like, do you have to come home every night at 11? My children are like, please grab my leg in the morning. Please come home. So I've got to get where I can just do the news and leave and not do, I guess all total last night, hour and 40 minutes. The news part itself was about 55 minutes long. Then I also just did some talking. But this is a big venture, a big operation against the globalists. It's bold. It's having a big effect. We've built all of this because of your support. If you're not a PrisonPlanet.tv member, it's 15 cents a day, $5.95 a month. That's $5.95 a month, or get 3 months free when you sign up for a year. And you can go to InfoWarsNews.com, InfoWarsNews.com, to sign up and to see the nightly news archive and the live stream of it when it's live, the special reports, the Alex Jones Live, that's this radio/TV show 3 hours a day, and the Alex Jones Rants area. And it's even easier for me to upload to PrisonPlanet.tv now to InfoWarsNews.com in that special area than it is for me to even upload near real-time videos like I do at night at 2 a.m. on the weekend and on the road. So now you're going to see more and more Some of it will be posted on the Alex Jones channel on YouTube, because that's our overall message to get the word out. But you will see it exclusively posted there first, and a lot of it will be exclusive to the site. By the way, we allow, because I wish we could allow everybody, you to have 6 logins at once with the same username passcode. Just don't use the same username passcode you use for your bank account. Create one that you're willing to give to your friends and family that is just on prisonplanet.tv. I didn't think I need to explain that, but for some folks, you know, don't have it be the code to your alarm at your house, obviously. But create a code if you want to share it, and just tell people don't give it out to more than 5 or 6 people, because then if 6 people are logged on at once with that passcode, you will try to go log on and then won't be able to get on. But c'est la vie. If you give it out and people use it so much you can't get on sometimes, go sign up and get another membership and support us. Because no good deed goes unpunished. It does cause occasionally some issues because people give out their passcode and then others give it out, and then I get emails going, I can't log in, and then we can go check the file and see, well, yeah, there were 6 people logged in when the show started under your passcode. So just give it to your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, grandma, your boss, one of your employees, whatever, and just say, don't share this, but hope you use it. And they will. You just go enter it and you can do it. Or you can just encourage folks to buy a membership. If you really want to support us, we had this a while back. I should reinstitute this. I think it's still a function we can just flip right back on. In fact, I'll go tell the IT guys to look into this and do it, where you could buy maybe 5 at a time and get a discount. 5 at a time, and that way 5 memberships would be 5 times 6. And we're talking about 30-something people being able to get on this thing. Why not do that? prisonplanet.tv is the main portal to all the films, everything else. But for the nightly show, the special reports, this show, if you want to watch the video format of it in the archives and the live stream, and the rant section that's behind the scenes, on the road, you name it, prisonplanet.tv, or find it all in one spot at InfoWarsNews.com. Okay, I'm going to launch the phones here for folks. If you want to call in, I'd love to hear from you. 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231, and we will get you up and on the air. What do you think of the fact that it comes out that the ATF shipping guns all over Latin America and the U.S. to special drug gangs they use to knock out their competition and make sure it gets laundered with the proper banks that run this country? Wells Fargo, Wachovia, the rest of them, they've all been caught on record. If you're a new listener and you don't believe that, just type in $376 billion laundered by Wells Fargo, Wachovia in a 2-year period. You'll get Bloomberg AP. I know if you're a new listener, it's hard to believe. It's all hidden in plain view. If you're a new listener and he says the Marines and the Army guard the opium and help load it on trucks, just type troops help guard and grow opium, put it into YouTube, you'll probably get 20-something newscast. Seriously, you'll get everything you can imagine. Multiple CNN, multiple Associated Press, multiple ABC News, multiple Fox, and it's all the same script, the same teleprompter script. We've got to guard this and help them, or the Taliban will win. What? The Taliban, most of the Taliban is just religious fanatics. And you've got a drug war going on. Most of the fighting over there is over the opium. That's what all the fighting is over. And then they've got some miscreant, quote, Al-Qaeda people that 9 times out of 10 turn out to be globalist contractors or operatives just to keep the war going. That's the excuse to stay there and get that $500 billion. It's funny. It's $500 billion they estimate, the UN estimates, in opium coming out of there every year. And it's roughly $500 billion in narcotics and cocaine, just our share of all the different funnels coming in. Oh, you don't think the big mega banks are involved in that? Grow up, ladies and gentlemen. You think some crack house down the street's laundering part of that $500 billion? No. No. Drugs are made illegal to jack up the prices and create a black market, and so selectively the police can be deployed to raid people that are opening up their own shops and shipping in their own drugs at a low-level retail level. That's who gets shut down. And most of the time now the government just tells the drug gang hit team, most of them trained at Fort Benning, Georgia, we now learn, go in there and slaughter all these people. You take them out, They'll just be statistics. Is that clear? They salute. Yes, sir. I mean, that's how it runs. That's how America runs. Saluting, quote, drug cartels. Mexican commandos. Sure. Remember, 6 years ago, we told you all of this. Before it came out, there it is, London Guardian. How a big U.S. bank laundered billions from Mexico's murderous drug gangs. Yeah, they ended up leasing and running the aircraft as well. That was back in April this year. But there's an even better one from Bloomberg. It's got the 376 billion number on it. And in a 2.5-year period, if you want to be technical. So again, we're going to be... let me just tell GCN Live something. The phone board computer interface you've got is another talk show host up, so you need to relaunch that. I'm going to exit out, John. Is that good, Harmon?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, relaunch that for me because I'm not getting those calls coming through. I'm getting somebody else's interface here. Okay, let me get into the other news and then your phone calls. Like I said, Larry Pratt's coming up to get more into that. But if you ever need an example that governments are engaged in crime, there it is. I mean, they think you're that stupid that they just do all of this right out in the open. Okay, let me get into the financial news. There is some good news here. Obama halts controversial EPA regulation. And I spent quite a bit of time this morning trying to figure out exactly which group. It's not all of them, but it's part of a package, and I don't think he's actually halting this. It's just lawsuits have been filed by states like Texas. What is it? More than 20 states have filed lawsuits last time I checked. And there's also a bunch of power companies, mainly coal-powered plants, that supply 51% or more of our power. The number's actually growing. I think it's 52 now, but over half. Look it up yourself. Remember, Obama said, I will bankrupt coal. We did that in a report earlier in the week for InfoWars Nightly News, one of the special reports. They're saying we will bankrupt you. So that's really helping out in court that, wow, the goal is to bankrupt, unless you're General Electric. And the fact that he gave them that waiver in February really helped the lawsuits, that it was so naked. See, the globalists are smart to a certain level, but they're also so arrogant now, so full of bravado, chutzpah, whatever, arrogance, just blind. Hubris is a even better word. Oh, yeah, they're showing me there on screen a happy globalist, Hillary Clinton, is having a great time. Now, continuing, Obama halts controversial EPA regulation, and they call it smog, but then when you read into it, it's carbon dioxide and it's ozone. And you see, they've gotten these plants with reasonable regulations. See, they're stacking all this on reasonable things like catalytic converters and other systems that everybody reasonably called for in the last 30, 40 years because nobody wants to breathe smog. Nobody wants to be poisoned. Nobody wants to get sick. I remember driving in as a child into Dallas. We lived right outside Dallas. And you'd see a big brown, yellow dome over the city of just cooking garbage. I remember getting sick driving in traffic with all the stinking cars. Now you drive by an old car, somebody that doesn't have a catalytic converter or a rotted out muffler, and, you know, you get sick right away. Remember when you were young, how bad it was? In that congestion, the brain cells dying. So all of that's reasonable. So then they come in and say, yeah, we want to stop even more smog. And the power plants are like, well, we've got giant buildings called scrubbers where it goes through all different sorts of systems, dry scrubbers, wet scrubbers. Nothing's coming out. They have federal sensors by law at the top of the smokestack. If anything comes out other than water vapor and carbon dioxide, alarms go off. They have to shut down. The feds have Cessnas that fly back and forth. I've seen them, and they admit they have them. Hundreds of them, dozens in Texas, over just snooping and picking up the particulate. So our economy is shutting down. And China and Mexico, they have no controls. They have some of the dirtiest, India as well, coal-powered plants in the world. Very toxic. Mercury, lead, all this stuff, blasting in, even dust, ashes raining down on people. Very bad. Very bad.